Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Developer Experience Office Hours here on OpenShift TV. I am Chris Short, host and executive producer of OpenShift TV. Welcome to my Christmas Wonderland. It's 2020. I can decorate as early as I want. Thank you very much. Today we are joined by a wonderful bevy of developers experience folks. I'll start with Serena Nichols from the future, and we'll just go around the horn like that. You can pass off whoever you want to, Serena.
Sounds good. Hey, everybody, I'm Serena Nichols. I'm the OpenShift developer tooling PMs, or one of them, primarily focusing on the OpenShift console developer experience as well as ODO, and happy to be here. I will pass over to Brian.
Hey, I'm Brian Tanis. I am a developer advocate. I work on OpenShift. I'm here to interject and throw some popcorn and talk about the console. So I'll pass it over to Ryan, who looks like might be frozen in time.
That's been happening to me today.
Dude.
At least my audio is working, so I'll refresh periodically throughout the session today. Thank you for having me despite my video difficulties. I'll be in chat and would love to hear any questions you have that we could use for future topics or things we can address right here today. We have a really cool competition that we would also like to invite you to join us along with. So that's, I think, our main topic for the day today.
Yes.
Console customization.
Yes, we're going to talk about that. Also, ask people to fill out the developer survey. So I know we've done that a little bit before, so we'll ask again. So
the developer survey, I will drop that in chat if you are watching right.
Awesome. You want me to start off, Chris? Can I begin now?
Find my Restream chat window. Yeah, go ahead. Fire away. Yeah,
all right.
It's
cool.
your show, Serena.
Awesome. So I just want to remind people, I know that a lot of people have received emails or seen tweets and seen us also talk about this here. There's a blog as well as on Red Hat Developers site. So we have our third annual OpenShift developer survey out. And, the goal of this, well, first of all, who should take the survey? It's any developers using OpenShift, number one, or any customer-facing Red Hat representatives that can answer on behalf of their customers. So, what are we doing with the survey?
So,
go ahead.
But to clarify,
yes.
Developers and people that know developers' pain points.
Exactly. Well, yes. And know their...
Please take the survey.
Yes. And developers, because what we're wanting to do is we want to understand and gain insight on what you're doing as a developer with OpenShift, right? We want to see how happy you are, or sad, hopefully happy, with the solutions that we're providing through the OpenShift platform, as well as learn more about all of the things and all of the tools that you're using in conjunction, right? So it's really important for us to be able to learn more about what you're doing so we can validate our roadmap, understand where we're at, so we can continue to improve along the way. So
exactly. Yes.
I think you're going to drop a link, if you haven't already, into the chat. That would be awesome.
I will drop the link to the blog post you're sharing right now as well.
Okay, excellent. And then a couple other things we can say here is that this survey is open until November 22nd. We will be back on the show on December 15th to talk about... You broke
up a little bit there.
Ooh, sorry. Okay, the survey is open till November 22nd. And we'll be back on the show on December 15th.
But November 22nd. Yeah.
We will be back.
I think.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Should I leave and come back in?
No, Serena, you sound fine to me. So
you sound okay. Maybe it's just me then.
There's no breaking up on my end.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Brian.
Maybe I should
all right.
rejoin.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so, and then the other thing we were talking about is on December 15th, we're going to come back on to the developer office hour and share some of the results we have to everybody in the public, right? And community members, everything. And we'll be sharing some of what we've learned through the survey. We're also going to have a more in-depth session inside of Red Hat as well, so people can also learn internally more details. But we are going to be sharing these results with the community through this same avenue. So really excited to do that, and that will be December 15th. So, like I said, please.
What do you say? How long would you say it takes to fill out the survey? Just like, what's the time commitment to do it?
Yeah,
it's 7 minutes supposedly.
Okay, that's not bad at all.
About 40 questions.
So really fast.
Yeah, there's 40 questions that are possible. I think there's really only 1 or 2 that are mandatory. So if you start doing it, you can, the more you can do, obviously, the better. But I think that there's only 2 mandatory questions at the beginning. So, but yeah, we'd love to have you do that. If you can take the time to do so, that would be awesome. Okay, so then the next thing I'm going to talk about is the console competition. So we've been on here a few times. I think Ali and Andrew Block came on once. I've been here again with the same group of cast of characters where we talked about this before. So I just want to give a little bit of an update. So this is, again, just reminding us, everybody, what this is, right? It's the console customization competition. We're trying to get people to showcase the best customizations you can do using supported OpenShift 4 mechanisms. Chris is going to drop a link for the registration into the chat. And so what happens is you register, I'll send you an email. What you need to do is the first 20 participants who register, as well as submit their entry by November 29th, will receive a t-shirt. We're then going to have a live competition on December 1st, right? We're going to go through and show, maybe, we're not quite sure exactly how many we're going to have live to vote from, but maybe the top 5 or 10. And then the people who are attending on December 1st will help us determine who the winners are. And so those first 20 participants receive a t-shirt, but the 3 winners will get a OpenShift hoodie. So again, really looking forward to see what you guys can come up with. And so today, what we do is we have 13 people who are currently registered for the competition, which is awesome. Only 2 of them have to date put up PRs. So we need you guys to put your PRs up before November 29th, just a reminder. And again, there's obviously room for more to get that free t-shirt if you're interested, as well as just join in for the fun.
Yeah.
So
if you're doing any kind of customization at all, right, of your console, like, we want to hear about it. We want to hear from you. If it's proprietary, okay, fine. Maybe you don't want to submit that PR, but if you register and say that, I feel like Serena could probably work with you, maybe, right?
Yes,
like, some kind of back channel, like, hey, yeah, we want to do this, but we can't share it publicly, kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. So if you go and look at the repo, and Chris, if you don't mind slapping that into the chat as well, we've got a guidelines and a README file with all the guidelines and rules and conditions, etc. But what we thought we would do today is look at one of the submissions. So we've got a submission here from Wolfgang, who's one of the architects here at Red Hat, and he's done a pretty cool PRs to date. He's got all of the things checked off that we have on this, the template for our PR. And what I'd like to do first is just kind of go look at his README file, and we can kind of walk through this together to see what he's done.
Nice. Yeah. No, he's Wolfgang's taking the time to write the README, create all the, this is a really good PR, like, just in general, right? Like, it has a README, it has docs, it has all the code changes, right? Like, it's just a good PR.
Right.
Yeah,
definitely.
if you're learning for like open source in general, it's a good place to look to figure out some of that stuff. Because Wolfgang's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, this is awesome. So, but it's part of the PR process too. What we've asked is people kind of write up with the goal of what they've done, show screenshots as well as supporting code, right? So this is his README file. So let's kind of go through this together. So customization details. So using the same background and logo for the OpenShift login page as is used for provisioning portal for consistent look and feel. So it's pretty cool. You can see he's customized the image in the background, the logos that are shown, as well as the name of the product, right? And even like some, this whole piece, this whole screenshot is showing a much different look and feel than what we have on our login screen today, which is pretty cool. He also mentions, in case more than one authentication provider is configured, display specific hints on how to log into the cluster using either LDAP credentials or HT password credentials. And I'm going to mute for a quick second.
Which is super nice.
Yeah. If you guys can just continue for another second, that would be great, if you don't mind.
Sure.
No problem.
So I think the key thing to point out with the authentication provider, right? Like you can pick from a multitude of authentication providers for OpenShift, right? And it's not just LDAP or just HT password, right? Like there's Ryan, you can probably attest to all the various options you've configured over the years, but like in case there's more than one, right? Like how to log in and giving you hints into doing that. That's a really nice feature that you can add here.
Definitely. Okay, so then we've got a couple other things, and we'll look at some of the code too, right? So he's also replaced the OpenShift logo in the console. So on that masthead, right, that we have, he's also replaced that logo with the Red Hat training logo, with the Red Hat training system logo, which is cool. And then you can see we'll still got normal nav, and there's the cluster overview. So that's great. And then he's also added a couple of help links to the help menu in the console for Red Hat employees and Red Hat partners to request help with our lab environment. So you can see down here, these are the bottom two that are on this screenshot here. So this gives users a quick way to request help if they get stuck while working through a hands-on lab. So awesome. So
that's pretty handy. Yeah.
Pretty neat. He also gives some instructions on how to install some of this page, and also talks about how all of this customization is done, which is pretty cool. So what do you think we should do next? Should we take a look at the associated files, or what do you think, guys?
Yeah, let's look at the files.
Sounds good.
Let's see what's actually changed here. Yeah.
So let's go back here.
You gotta go. There you go.
Yeah.
Was there a link to this PR in the materials you had earlier, in the link that had the sign up form, or what's the best place for people to find this?
So we linked to the blog post, or
Okay.
I'm sorry, the
from the blog post,
the registration form.
Here's the GitHub. Here, I'm going to put in the GitHub repo that you need to put the PR into. I just put that into the chat. So you can look. So actually, yeah, that's something else that we should, that's something else we should definitely mention, is that all of these PRs are public, right? So kind of what we've talked about as far as the competition goes is whoever, if something comes in that's super creative, for whoever puts up that PR first will kind of get credit for that first, right? So it's great to have people being able to kind of riff off of each other's PRs as well, but just also mention that, right? So not sure how to say that the right way.
Did a child just absolutely reject coming on the stream? I feel offended.
I muted my audio because he's in the background yelling, no, 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 and he's chasing the dog around in circles. And I tried to pick him up, and he said no to that too. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Careful.
I've got some bloopers I could share with Max, I'm sure. But yeah, you might want to clip that one. Just save it for 20 years from now.
Yeah. So let's see. We're gonna look at. Let's see what else we got here. So you guys want to take a look at the code? What do you think we should do?
Yeah, I mean, he changed a couple of things on here, and it only looked like there was 10 files. I think I saw change. Like that's not
a lot.
Too much, right?
No. Let's see. Yep.
Yeah,
10
files.
files. So we created the README.
Yeah, one of them was a
The
README, so
login.
toss that out.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then
He's
there's
got a
most
bunch
of
these
them
in
are
the
images.
PNGs. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So the various, so what are these, what are the images? So there's the custom, there's the various logos he has, and then like the
custom help
dashboard
menu
or the login page, right? So the login background image is
Right.
changed.
Yeah, and those are the things that we saw in the README file, right? And so here's the YAML file that he used to create that console link. That comes up on the help menu. So that's how you accomplish that.
So if anybody wants to add any custom thing to that menu, all they need to do is create that, and that's it.
This YAML.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's
not bad.
pretty nice. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty straightforward, I feel like.
You just gotta
as
know
far
where
as
to go. Yeah.
Kubernetes and YAML go.
It's
Definitely.
the hard part is knowing where to put it, right?
Right.
And having or finding the example. So here's the example.
Exactly. Yeah. And so he's also got some stuff down here too, right? Around how to customize that login page, right? And he talks about creating the secret and updating the custom resource for customizing the login page here too. And then talks about customizing the logo, because each of these things are done a little bit differently, right? Customizing the logo, you have to create the config map and then update the custom resource, the cluster custom resource, right? Versus in other cases, you're creating a console link CR. So some of the things are a little bit different.
Sorry.
And I think that's the whole thing.
Internal streaming channel had a lot of chatter all of a sudden. I was super worried.
Ah.
No, it's okay. They're talking about UPSs and such.
Okay. Okay.
Because we had a power outage during streaming training. I'm trying to train more producers, more content for y'all. We like to get more people involved, more faces on the screen, right? And I had a power outage right in the middle of the thing. And I was talking about, how I make sure that doesn't happen to me, as I'm usually the one streaming these things. So I have enough UPSs and such in the house so that I can actually stream for like 30 minutes without power. That has taken a significant investment in UPSs and a lot of testing to make sure that works. But it is possible for me to unplug everything and still keep going as long as I have internet. And that internet could come from this potentially. So, yeah.
Have you ever really needed that yet?
Do you have a backup internet yet?
I've never had to go 4G. I've never had to go to the 4G internet. The power supply stuff has helped quite a bit. And because my lighting is battery powered, you would never notice if the power actually went out. Nothing would change behind me other than like the decorations and stuff turning off. But that's it. That's pretty cool.
You need redundant internet. You need a second internet.
So here's the problem. Welcome to America. I have no other provider that services my house. I have Comcast Business.
Starlink eventually.
Well, so here's the deal, right? Like I signed up for Starlink and I'm in the right latitude.
You're far enough north.
But they want you to spend $500 on a ground station for the damn thing. And I'm not doing that. To beta test it, you got to spend $500. No, sorry.
The benefits of being in rural America, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm in super fancy California, and we only have two providers out here. It's Comcast and AT&T,
right?
And AT&T is still running over the phone lines, DSL. So it's like
same. Mine's Spectrum instead of Comcast, but yeah, same.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So AT&T is in the area, but we can't even get service at the house. That's how new the neighborhood is. They haven't run their copper to it. Like they just kind of gave up on it. So anyways, we could talk about Detroit housing and all that fun stuff as long as we want, but that's not the topic of this show.
Out of curiosity though, where is it? Okay, so I know Ryan is from California. Brian, where are you from?
I'm in Frisco, Texas. Maybe 45 minutes north of Dallas.
Wow. And then Chris, you're down in North Carolina?
Michigan.
Oh, you're in Michigan. Oh, how did I not know that?
Yeah, I'm outside of Detroit.
Oh, wow.
No, I used to live in Raleigh. This is fair. This is a common problem. A lot of people don't realize, at least until a couple of years ago, that I moved to Michigan.
Oh, wow.
Which is kind of funny, right? Like I spent so much time in the before days traveling back and forth to Raleigh that people thought I actually lived in Raleigh still. So
yeah, interesting.
interesting when I moved up here. Yeah.
Well, and I'm in Massachusetts, so we've got the four corners covered there. Northeast,
Yeah,
southwest.
sounds like
We're
it.
all good. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So going back to the customization stuff. So we've got this PR is pretty cool where it really combines a bunch of the different methods that we can use, right? And he's done a really nice job at this. So yeah, looks pretty cool. Curious if anybody else is. So Brian, have you tried any of these things? Dave,
I haven't.
know, like,
I'm
yeah.
thinking about how the authentication stuff's configured there, though. I definitely want to look into that.
I would love to look at that. Yeah.
There's a little more down the bottom. Does somebody want to pull that up and kind of take a look at it, or do you want me to go in through this anymore? Or?
I don't care who shares the screen. Who wants to share the screen? Brian, you want to share the screen?
It doesn't matter to me. It'll probably take me a second. I gotta change my resolution real quick.
Do you?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
What kind of fancy monitor do you have,
ginormous, ultra wide.
And
everything will look insane.
Actually, you know what? The ultra wide stuff shows up okay in
Really?
Zoom, to be honest with you.
All right, I'll try.
It does. Like it gives you like, if you increase the font size, it gives you like a little bit of extra real estate so you can stick things over and stuff. You can actually get a full view of a YAML file or whatever, right? Like, just depends. Did you just squirt your dog, Serena? Oh my gosh.
So that when I share,
we got kids, we got dogs, we got all kinds of stuff going on.
When I share, I can't find my mute button. So that's why I stopped sharing, was so I could mute and try to control the whining over here. But it is a dog, not a child. Sorry.
It is a dog. Yes, to be clear, and water does not harm. So
exactly.
no dogs were harmed in the filming of this live stream.
There's nothing harmful going on. I usually don't even actually have to squirt. Just seeing the bottle usually helps.
Wow, nice. Okay, so Brian has disappeared. So I'm going to try and share my screen or share my tab at least. See if I can do that real quick. All right. Can everyone see the competition entry?
Yes, but just so you know, we are seeing your entire desktop. Just
That's
so you
what
know.
I was afraid of.
Yeah.
Like I hit that one tab, but
I've done it. Yeah.
No, of course not. No, really. Select. Wow, I had to click that thing like 4 times. Okay.
Let's see, now you got the tab. Perfect.
Got it.
So let me.
Small though.
Yeah.
Gotta bump that font.
That's fixable. There we go.
Perfect. Looks great.
I had to restart Zoom so that I could give it permissions. I reset my Mac recently. Anyways,
yeah.
Cool. So it looks like we're good anyway.
Zoom sharing.
Now
so let's just look real quick. Yeah, now you're all set. Let's look real quick at this login page, right? Like this is going to be that first page that you see. Not a like ton of craziness here, right? Some CSS, some values here for form actions and such, right? Like, but like super crazy fancy here. Some variables. That's it, right?
You saw the image up above, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the image. Apparently, there's a background image, right?
And so there's even a CRSF token. So it's, I think I saw something. Yeah, CSRF.
Value
nice. You got basic security.
Yeah, all this is very good. Some kind of error. So yeah, that looks great for a login page. Again, right, folks? This is just 80 and CSS. Not that they're my 2 favorite languages, but
right.
Not so providers. This is probably the more difficult one, I feel like, right? So if you have multiple providers, if the provider name app, your name and TLC is a system here at Red Hat that we use for training purposes and such. So we would use that login and log password from your provisioning email. That would be the HT password aspect being provided here. Correct? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, it sounds like it. So yeah,
Okay.
this is checking whatever the provider. Yeah.
Yeah. So like if you had GitHub or Google or whatever you're using, you would plug those in accordingly here. Essentially where you would handle that. There's also like these PNG files. Now the internal link for YAML. So this is the help thing. Sydney is in the help menu. Same with this. And that's it, folks. All right. Like completely change the look and feel. All right. Like there's some better help links. There's some better, like customization and look and feel going on inside the console. But it only took 10 files. Most of them are images that were probably like already made. And then just figuring out which things to change, right? So like a console link, like that's not something that jumps out at me as something being like native to Kubernetes, but definitely native to our UI. So like you apply this and that kind is already represented in the system, right? That resource already exists because we have menus already there. So just extending what's already there here, add another link. You want to add another link? Boom. I feel like you could almost do this with one file. I'm not sure why it's two though. Can you do it with one file, Serena?
I don't know the answer to that, to tell you the truth.
If you could have multiple links in the same manifest.
I'm not sure if you can do multiple links or not.
Yeah, if it could take in an array.
I don't know.
Good
I
question.
don't
But,
know if it could take an array or not.
When he
See,
deploys that, does he go to like the OpenShift? Like what? There's a particular namespace, right? OpenShift console, probably.
OpenShift console namespace is where you need to end up, right? And
yeah, if you go look back
So
at the
I will
README, it
stop
actually
sharing.
says how he did the OC apply with those files too. I don't know if you
Yeah,
noticed
good point.
that.
yeah, let me actually pop that open so it's rendered is what I'm trying to do. Open Sesame. No, really, view it. I want to view the. There we go. Okay. And on this time I'm going to share my whole screen because I am going to pop over to my console and there's nothing special here other than a ton of invites and such. This is Wolfgang. Links are. Why can't I see that correctly? But anyway, the images are broken. But how do one if an uploaded to an S?
If you just
background.
if you do view file from the ... on the right hand side, see where it says README all the way to the right.
That's what I did.
And then say view file.
Oh, okay. There we go.
There we go. Yeah, perfect.
All right, much better. Duh. Okay, so in case you need more than one provider, that's that provider.html file I showed you. Here's those two extra menu entries. And then how to install. This is kind of important. So you need to create, like these are actually secrets and they're login templates and provider templates, and they're all in the OpenShift config namespace. Aha, not console, config. Stand corrected. So these are secrets, those HTML files as secrets, right? Like that's kind of interesting, right? Like you can do that. That's a Kubernetes native thing. You can literally load anything as a secret or a config map, which is interesting. Apply these and it will automatically update the existing login HTML and providers pages in that namespace. And then the OAuth custom register to use the HTML as such. Ta-da! That's a command for that. Now, if you want to customize logo, so I feel like we did this before on a previous show. But you create an app, custom logo.
Don't you remember?
From,
that's
like,
when I crashed.
You broke your clock. You didn't crash it.
No,
Did you
it
crash
wasn't
it?
me.
Was it a
No, it
crash or
wasn't
was it
me.
just like a horrible misconfiguration?
It crashed at the same time, but not because of me, or a very similar time. But
Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. So yeah, if you want to, like, you can change the logo on your web console with like 3 commands or 2 commands. I'm sorry. Just boom, boom, right? Like upload the config map and it's actually a file. So like your custom, company logo You could just use that and then patch it and then done. If you want to customize the help menu, you notice he for HPDS help internal and then those were simple applies. I'm assuming he was in what namespace though? Ooh, interesting. Probably config.
Should be defined in the README. If they do the applies in there, it's probably either in the apply dash namespace, or they have it encoded in the data, right?
In the YAML, yeah. I can always.
Those aren't in the YAML though.
Oh, it's not. That doesn't go in the YAML.
Well, no. It could have like the namespace in the metadata, but that's not in there.
It doesn't. Yeah.
It should be in the apply command, right?
Right, like you would normally see a -n here, but yes, unless knowing where to apply these things, which namespace.
Yeah. Well, if you're using OpenShift and you have logged in as admin, you may have defaulted into admin namespace or something. OpenShift does provide kind of sticky namespace support. So once you opt into one, usually all the rest of your applies will kind of stick with that namespace. And sometimes the result is we forget to explicitly say which namespace in the docs that we were using. So we ought to have a -n on each command. Yeah.
So like I could totally do it right now, but as you can see, OC status. Okay, good. Still connected. If I applied these things right now, I'm wondering if it'd work. What's this? Oops. Never mind. Something else. I don't want to muck up my cluster too much today. I did have to rebuild it after our last session that one time. I don't know what I changed, but I could not get that logo to change back. It was stuck as the Kubernetes logo, and it was so confusing to me. This isn't Kubernetes. This is OpenShift. Why? Oh, wait. As I bounced around from cluster to provider to provider to cluster and so forth. Yeah. All right. So what else shall we? Since I've been screen sharing, I haven't been keeping an eye on chat. So let me look over there real quick. Oh, Ryan has. Thank you. Audio choppy for anybody else? Yes.
Yeah, so you are. Yeah.
I am choppy. Okay, so choppy. I have issues.
See, not all the time. Just from time to time. Yeah, getting little blips dropping out.
So it is my fault. All right, great. Great. I got a warranty issue. Joy of joys. So yes, when you use consumer hardware every day, it fails quickly. Just keep that in mind when you're live streaming, folks. I do apologize for sound quality issues. I'll have to fix this somehow today.
It's been understandable though. I mean, mostly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
We'll ask if it's completely
garbled.
We can't understand it all.
That explains why I'm fading in and out with y'all though. Or I'm not hearing you and y'all. It's this.
Yeah.
My wonderful Scarlet solo flaking out on me. Oh, fun. All right. Anything else we're talking about today, Serena?
That's it. It's really just trying to get people to take that developer survey like we mentioned, as well as do the console customization competition and join in the fun. I just went over to see if we got a 14th registrant yet. Not yet. So maybe we can talk somebody into it who's watching right now. Would be awesome.
For the folks in the for the folks in the chat, how many of you are hosting an OpenShift environment that have other people log into it other than yourself?
JP Data is.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Those would be the folks that maybe would want to, tidy, give them, put a nice storefront on there, or, nice kind of welcoming environment for their folks. So it's not necessarily the not everyone's use case, but really cool that you can customize your environment, make it look more. As OpenShift folks, we try to not look like we're ripping off CNCF or Kubernetes too much. It's an ecosystem we collaborate with, but you could make it more CNCF themed or Kubernetes themed, or theme it up like your corporate environment or whatever use case you have. So really cool stuff. Making this
I was also going to say it's branding is a big piece of it too, but like there's also other pieces too, right? Well, so as an admin, you can customize what you're doing or enabling for your developers too, right? You can create your own builder images, which I would consider as customization. You can have custom Helm chart repos. Like there's a whole bunch of things. You can provide links to your internal tools if you wanted to from your help menu. There's all kinds of things you could do for ease of use and being able to point to different tools. I think for that developer to be able to allow them to have consistent access to things, or one-stop shop kind of for allowing them to get to different tools.
And then the real deal after that, of course, you want a nice login experience and have your authorization and the right people getting in. But then once they're there, you can get tutorials or other kind of customize that landing experience and make sure they've got the right tool chain to do the work that they're trying to accomplish.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think as we talked about in the past couple of sessions, we talked about quick starts coming on and how we're going to have a quick start CR, right? So we started having them in 4.6. We have a limited amount of quick starts that are available that the console kind of publishes, but in 4.7, there's going to be a CR, which will allow operators to install or provide their own quick starts, but also allows admins to create their own quick starts to kind of onboard people at their own company, right? With best practices or however they see fit to utilize OpenShift, which will be really cool to see how customers start using that.
Yeah. One of the things that I really, if anyone else has comments they want to throw in, by all means, jump ahead of me. But I was just going to say, one of the things I really like about this is that you can have kind of the whole cloud all behind one experience, one single entry point. And, you don't have to have a lot of external service integrations to complicate things more than necessary. You can host everything all on an open cloud, including your logging, your metrics, everything you need to get business done, and then take it anywhere you need to go. So super cool opportunity for getting your workloads in there, enabling your developers, and taking your work wherever you need to get business done.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, people are doing development on OpenShift, but then there's also like, virtual machines and stuff that you could run on OpenShift too. So you have just those two examples, there's plenty, but those two have, different users, they have different requirements, different needs and all that stuff. It's easy to customize that so that, you could personalize it to maybe somebody who's focused on a specific task, maybe somehow. That's cool. I remember, back when, not around anymore, but, adding templates, right? Making it so that a workload is easily deployable. We have the ability to do operators now, and you could add that to the cluster and get maybe a similar type thing. But, I remember like going in and it was similar to adding the links and all that. So it's nice to see that it's a lot more extensible than what I remember a while ago, which is cool.
Yeah, and we're planning to continue with that. Like we are doing some work on dynamic plugins now for the console. So right now we have in the OpenShift console today, we have integration with with things like pipelines, serverless, et cetera, which are using static plugins. But we're doing some work right now where we're enabling dynamic plugins for some of those closely knit operators. And in the future, what we're going to be doing is kind of loosening up that mechanism so that dynamic plugin mechanism can be utilized by more people. And that again is my Serena in the future discussion. But that's kind of where we see those plans going, right? Is to continue to make the console more customizable and being able to adapt to customer environments better than we are, or continue, improving that as we go along.
That's awesome. Sorry, I'm messaging a friend who has similar equipment and seeing if they have a consistent problem like I do or not. Right now it seems fine. Yeah, feel free. JP Dade, I feel like you and Serena could link up and probably talk for an hour about how to make your developers more productive potentially. So yeah, please fill out that survey and she'll get you linked up. And you can be as honest as you can be, JP, you know the drill. So yeah, you've got the NDA signed and everything, so we can talk, privately, more intensively
Definitely.
with you directly if you want. And I can be there too if you set up a meeting or anything. If Serena can give them more time, that'd be nice.
Do they need to sleep?
Do they need sleep? Nice. Do your developers require sleep? Yes.
Somewhat.
It just feels like the 2020 thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
how much can you do all day and all night? Yeah,
There is definitely a limit, especially like the past few weeks for me personally, physically. It's been like I've been pushed through the weeks as opposed to like tackling the weeks. Like normally I feel like I'm in like attack mode, or I'm tackling tasks, I'm getting stuff done. The past couple of weeks has just felt like I've just because physical ailments is like just shoving me through the week as opposed to like getting things done. So yeah, I definitely feel the time pain. Literally. The want to do it all, but try to have a life. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's always a problem. So if there's nothing else, I have 4 extra hours a day now that I don't have to commute
Oh my
35 miles to
goodness.
the office.
Hey.
Wait, where are you from, JP Dade? Where are you?
I think JP's in the capital region. DC
Okay.
area.
Okay.
So that 35
Bad
miles to the
traffic.
office is probably like 2 hours. Yeah.
2 hours or 40. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I don't miss my drive to Boston, I'll tell you that, because probably wasn't that bad, but close. Yeah. Yeah.
My routine as a work from home person had been at least getting in the car and driving out to get breakfast. So I just have a mental like flip over of like I was at home and now I'm at work, like and now all of the restaurants that I used to go to that were kind of minimally open for COVID have now started doing all kinds of indoor dining. And now I'm like, I want to support their business, but I don't know if I want to go hang out indoors in an area with a bunch of people breathing all over the place at the same time.
No.
And so,
Hell no.
yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
I'm sorry. I am extra cautious when it comes to COVID-19.
Same.
Yeah, I think
Definitely.
everyone needs to be cautious. Everyone needs to keep their guard up. And I don't know. I'm just saying, so like my uncle just got diagnosed yesterday, I think. So I just take care of your family, be cautious. I don't know. Watch out.
Hope he's
And
okay.
yeah.
Stay safe. Like, ooh,
yeah.
Sorry, man.
Yeah,
That sucks. Hopefully he'll be okay. But
He'll be okay.
I completely agree.
Yeah, okay. All right. It's cool. The next show we have coming up here is OpenShift Commons Briefing. It will be talking about, oh, come on, calendar. Index Image Build Service for OpenShift. So IIB is the short for that. So I've never heard of that, to be honest with you. Index Image Build Service. Any of y'all?
What's the index part?
It literally says Index Image Build Service. That's all that's in the invite. That's So I don't know. It'll be fun for all of us. I'm sure
Yeah.
it'll
It will be
just
a learning
snap to the
session.
second I get there. But yeah, let's see. Join us for an overview of the it's actually a thing. Index Image Build Service, a REST API to manage operator index container images and some bundle images. Oh, okay. Interesting. Cool. All right.
So maybe we
if
can
there's
just also give a recap of this, right? So next week we are off because of KubeCon. So we're not
That's
going to be
right.
holding this session. And the following
But-
week, which is
Well, yeah, there's a but there.
what's the but?
there is a but. We will have an OpenShift Commons gathering here for
Perfect.
KubeCon. But I don't know the exact time of it yet. Everything for KubeCon this year is like West Coast time. So we'll figure it out and we'll get it
Okay.
booked. But definitely all day or a significant chunk of the day next week. Next Tuesday will be OpenShift Commons gathering.
We also have an office hours for what's new in OpenShift 4.6 that we will be having. There's a couple other community type events that we have as well. The particular day I don't have, really handy, but we can make sure that, we'll post it into the chat here in a second. But we are having an office hours next week over that. Not sure what day.
Awesome. And then on the 24th, so 2 weeks from
I
today,
could tell you.
2 weeks from today, we're going to be looking at some of what's being implemented for 4.7 in the console around the developer experience. So some of the new stuff that you'll be able to see in 2021. So it'll be kind of cool.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Without further ado, we'll call this one good. Thank you all for joining today. Thank you all for watching. If there's any question answered, feel free to tweet me at Chris Short. Is 4.6 out for vSphere? I'm not sure. How about 4.8? Not yet.
4.8 planning's coming soon.
Thank you. Yeah, good things coming soon.
Thanks again to Steve S30 and JP Date in chat for keeping it going. Great to have you here.
Yeah. Steve S is Mr. Spiker.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah. He should just join the Zoom call. Steve, why aren't you on the Zoom?
He likes
Anyways,
to be quiet and chat.
to hide and shadows and lurk and such. Anyways, good old Steve. Love you, buddy. Thank you all for joining.
Do that,
and
so. But I join
enough.
frequent too.
You're here. That counts.
True.
All right. Thank y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know if you have any questions. C Short at Red Hat, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
See you next time.